In the words of Stevie Nicks, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Episode 167. The Public Open Paddles is here, a little under the weather, but still made it.
Yeah.
Still made it.
Here.
Still having a beer.
Or two.
That's exactly how to get rid of a cold. What am I drinking? This is Boots and Hose. Get it? Like a fireman. From, I think San Luis. I say San Luis Obispo. I know it's not supposed to be said like that.
No.
I've been corrected. But it is. And that's the way. But then they said it's the white people's pronunciation that took over.
Yep.
Much like near my Ozark house, Versailles is Versailles. But nobody's calling it Versailles because nobody except me took French in high school. This is a delicious little beer. Citrus blonde ale. That'll wake you up in the summertime. Excellent work. What a weekend. What a weekend before we get to everything. San Luis Obispo, as I like to call it.
Louis.
I know.
They'll yell at you.
I had never been there. It's the home of Cal Poly. I didn't know that. Cal Poly Tech. And then I looked that up. It's a techie, but they work with agriculture too. There's a lot of weird, well, not weird, but farms. I don't know. I just don't picture driving up the 101 and seeing cows running and sheep were running. It's very Midwest, but yet not. It's a very cute town. I'm sure very expensive.
Yeah.
Because but I just wanted to find a little dive bar to have a beer. What?
You got a Bill's bar.
Yeah, and then I wandered into this bar that already had Buffalo things, but it's not called that anymore. And then these Buffalo people came and said, "Can we make it a Buffalo Bills bar?" And the bartender was like, I guess. And they were like, "Well, will you open at 6 a.m.?" And he goes, "If you can promise at least 20 people," well, 30 or more showed up. And
Mafia's good.
because the mafia travels well. They're very serious, and they'll drink their ass off. If I was the bar owner, I'd say, absolutely, this will be a Bills bar because nobody drinks as much as those people. Granted, it's beer. They even had Labatt Blue Light on the menu. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
And I can't remember. Yeah, that's the place. Is that where the Madonna Inn was, or was that Monterey? It was in San Luis Obispo.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
You guys got to go Google this hotel. I can't explain it. All I can say,
Put it in the show notes.
it's called the Madonna Inn. I did not stay there because I didn't even know it existed. But then I always Google what's around me, blah, 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 once I get there. I don't know how to describe it, except I think it's what things would look like if I dropped acid. But I've never dropped acid, so I can't be responsible for that. And that was the Fremont Theater, which is an old historic thing. They were going to tear it down. The city saved it, just like a Hallmark movie. Just a wonderful crowd. And then Monterey, super wonderful. My friend Lorene, who directed Bothering Jesus on Netflix, did a great job. She came. That was fun. And Monterey, I got to go work on the dog beach. If you watch the golf tournament this weekend, I tried to swing in there to just have a beer and maybe get a shirt for my dad or something. There was way too much setup going on, though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, my little bar where you can overlook the first tee, that one, and then that was closed because they're making some VIP. There's just construction shit everywhere. I get it. They got to set up for this big tournament, blah, 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 blah. But if you were to see the tournament on TV, they will show the beach below you, and people walking with their dogs. They do it all the time on the ins and outs of the commercials, and that's the beach. It's Carmel Beach, right. And Carmel is just, obviously adorable, and I'm sure $1 billion. Well, I did. I got I always get the real estate thing just to see. There's nothing under, no. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. And that's when I was there. I'm like, holy shit, I think this is the bay John Denver crashed in. And I Googled it, and I was right. Monterey Bay. I could have been standing right there and watched poor little John, who I love so much, just eat it in Monterey Bay. And he had a house there because I'm like, what was Mr. Colorado doing out here? Well, he had a little house there, sold for $3 million. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Yeah, sold a while back.
It looks kind of hippie fun.
It looks like hippie fun, but ain't no hippies anymore. The hippies can't afford to live there. This is
Terrible.
the hippies got priced out to go inland. That's would be my bet. That's what happens in Southern California anyway. So anyway, termites fire. We'll go through some stuff I got, and then we're gonna get into it. So many things. If I seem a little tired, it's because as the addictive person I can be, I got into a show on Netflix 6 hours later. And I'm like, I'm ruining Tuesday. But I was like, who cares? Yeah, I mean, I have stuff to do. But I'm awake. I've had coffee. Now I'm having a beer. I'm awake enough for all this for sure. So I stopped by the post office so I don't get yelled at by my ladies up there. And in the mail, we're going to thank Lauren. She gave me some handmade stone bracelets. They're very, very cute. Friendship bracelets, even though she's not like a Tay-Tay person, which, you know, I'm half in, half out on the Tay-Tay. Not out. I'm only half in. I'm not. I know you're all in, Paddles. And I know there's so many people my age or that are all in that I don't know.
It's a bandwagon now.
Well, welcome. I'm all in with Stevie. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. But unlike the Tay-Tay people, seeing Stevie's once a year is enough for me. If it's saw more than once, I don't know, it would ruin the magic of it. To me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm also the lady at the concert that's going to have 4 giant beers and those kids at the Tay-Tay thing. That's why it's a wonderful concert to go to. There's no lines for alcohol.
No.
The children don't care. No. And I'm like, wonderful. I'm so happy none of you give a shit. Go over there, trade your bracelets, and Grandma will be over here drinking all the liquor.
It's wonderful.
Kay and Alan said cat speaking of cats, wait. I know I'm a little all over the map. I put a video up on Instagram. The cutest cat in the whole world showed up on the porch. Seemed very friendly. Well, I opened the door. No, I couldn't find the 3 hooligans that live here at the time. And it ran in. No, it's not still here. I would love to. It's someone's pet. It's somebody who has a few dollars because it has an Apple ID tag and bells and bows and shit. This cat's got more shit on it. It was a very cute cat, though. It ran right in the house, jumped up on the guest bedroom thing, and flipped over for me to pet its stomach. And I'm like, wow, this cat could be so easily stolen. And it let me pick it up. I mean, I put it back outside, but then baby cat saw it. And it's very hard to get baby cat riled up. And she went, you could hear it on Instagram. Her ears went back. But the dumb baby cat's not, I don't think she can see that good. And she's not the brightest of the 3. No. There was a glass in between them. And she's like, there's not game on, baby cat. There's no game on here. The door's closed. There's glass in between you and that cat. And that cat just kept banging. Like, I've never seen a cat, though, with...
you know you can afford an air tag.
I could afford an air tag, I suppose, but what does it do? I can't follow the cat.
You can track it on your
I can track it on my, if I put, but they're outside too much. They go in the wood. I've read all this stuff. Don't get started with me either, cat people. Cat people are crazier than dog people. I'm just saying.
I've seen your treats that you
God, but I'm a cat person too, so I will put myself, but they did make good points that if your cats are outside a lot, they're over in the woods a lot, and I don't want them getting caught.
Right.
And then,
That thing you think
I'd just rather not know where they're going. I know what they don't do is guard this property. I found Kato in the planter while the other tucked into the planter, sound asleep. That other cat came. Thankfully, it was friendly, and it didn't want anything except to be petted, which is and it ate a bunch of food. It's probably telling all the other cats, "You're not gonna believe this shit. They just leave it out on the porch all day."
Right.
Yeah. Well, I do leave it out on the porch.
Millionaire
I bring it in at night. I've learned my lesson. No food on the porch at night, or Mr. Possum comes, Mr. Fox comes, everything, the skunks, everything. Kay and Alan brought me cat stuff and a Dolly Parton wisdom book, which I may incorporate once I'm out of these quotes. Michael gave me a possum blanket. It's awesome. Yeah, it's being mailed back. I had to have a lot of stuff shipped back. And some possum Bigfoot themed artwork. I don't have that yet either. And Kelly said the funny beanie. What?
That's in the mail.
It's all in the mail, coming back to me. Yeah, I can't get it all home, especially when I'm running for the earliest flight in the world, so I can go home and do what? Watch football. Oh my God.
So good.
Should we talk about football for a second?
Yes, the termites like it.
Well, I know, but I should do my shout outs first. Because I got to taste some of this anyway. So there's this jerky right here. This is from Leslie. It's called Cattaneo Brothers Fine Jerky Mesquite. Solid strips of beef. I always love how these things say sugar free, but then if you go to the sodium, whoa! No. Yeah, but that's what I like. That's why I like it.
Shelf life of 9 decades.
Yeah, this will be fine when I'm 75.
This guy's study point the time capsule.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like mesquite jerky.
That should be their slogan. It's good.
Cattaneo Bros. Well, it's since 1947, and they only produce small batches. I don't know where it's from, though. They brought it backstage, so shout out to Lily for that. And Billy, Pat, and Christine. Oh, my God. Tailor-made golf balls, and they have the Madigan's Pubcast logo on them.
Oh, cool.
I know, but now I don't want to hit them. But then I think maybe someone will find it and go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then they'll come listen to the podcast. Wonderful. Claudia, Susie Q's pinquito beans. That's not here. This jerky doesn't.
No, they're the ones you have to boil them and make them.
Oh, you got to boil up. Right. Jeannie, the Bigfoot sound machine. Love it. Norwegian hand cream. There was so much stuff. Local beer from Amanda. I gave a bunch to my friend Lorene because her husband Tony really likes tasting weird beers. And I can get some home, but not all. And then I decide which people in the staff can have it. She also sent cat toys. I think baby cat knows now. Because when I come home, the big suitcase, it's the first one she sits next to it and goes, meow, meow, meow. She knows there's shit in there for her.
She's spoiled.
Cookies from Jason and Hannah and Extra.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sherry, Lisa, and Zoe. Grover Beach Suckers. Oh, the California Fish Taco Cat for Baby Cat. That one's already out of the bag.
Nice.
Yeah, loves it. Monterey, that was the State Theater. Monterey's got a great feel.
Golden State Theater.
The Golden State?
Yeah, it's the Golden State.
Oh, as in the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah.
As in California is the Golden State?
Exactly.
I get it. Little late to the party. Fire. Cynthia and Michael. Some Thai spicy peanuts.
Nice.
Yeah. Patty and Bruce. The Pebble Beach hat. See, I was going to go down there and buy stuff, but I couldn't. It was too crazy. And then they brought this salami. I love salami. This is Foustman's artisanal pork 5-alarm habanero.
You better get a beer ready.
Yeah, I got a beer ready, and I got a backup beer too. I can't see where it's from though. I can't read it, and I have reading glasses on.
You taste it, I'll look it up.
Yeah, well, it's from San Juan Bautista, California.
Yep.
All right, well, here we go. Let's see if it's really 5-alarm.
It's uncured dry.
Well, oh my God. Oh my God.
Gross.
No, it's not gross. It's just 5-alarm. It is 5-alarm. They're not kidding. Holy shit.
Oh, you threw it in the trash like a cobra.
Whoa. Well, I love salami. Wow. We're almost done with this part. Amy brought a banana slug hoodie. It's one of the softest things I've ever felt. It's wonderful. It's in the laundry right now. Steve and Ann, La Crema Chardonnay. Who doesn't like La Crema?
Love it.
And technically, we're in wine country there. I always think of like Sonoma and Napa. I don't think of Monterey.
It's where the crema is.
And I know they didn't know that. It didn't. And then I did see vineyards driving down from Monterey
Did you go?
down there.
Crema?
No, I didn't go to the wine. The wineries are not my thing. I don't, where they're like,
You're at the Bills.
do you want a sample? No, just give me the bottle.
Right.
I don't want to sit here with tiny glasses. And I would do that at a brewery because I like to taste different beers. But wine, I don't know enough about it. I don't really care enough. Just give me a Pinot Noir that I can see through, and I'll be quiet in the corner. I won't bother anyone.
It's called Kool-Aid.
No. But I like wine. But the winery thing, no. And I know people get so excited about those vacations. And then I guess we have to hire a driver because how are you going to get from winery to winery if I'm slowly getting hammered all day? But there's too many explanations. The stories are too long.
There's science involved.
It's science and yeah, I don't know. It's like if you had a bunch of potato chips, I don't care how you made them. I just don't. Just give me the bag of Lay's. I don't care. Stephanie brought some stuff for the night guards. Yeah, a red protein puffs. I haven't really run those by them just yet, but we will see. And I got these people that owned a bagel shop, and we ate 2 of them backstage. They were the best things I've ever eaten. Yeah, it was Lorraine, Dennis, Janice, Kristen, and Brian. And Wanda, Deborah, and AGA brought some local beers and a bunch of other stuff. So shout out to everybody that brought stuff backstage. I'll read this note later. But it was a good one. And I didn't say I tasted these Taco Works tortilla chips from San Luis Obispo. Luis, white people pronunciation. Oh, wow.
Surprisingly delicious.
Yeah, they really are good. There's a kick to them.
Taco Works.
Taco Works.
I like it.
All right. Let's talk about the football.
Okay.
Detroit, all my sympathies.
Sad time.
I know I didn't want to see Detroit lose, but you know what? They keep blaming the coach for the call. A couple times he went for it, that he goes for it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, that's all probably wasn't the smartest thing. But you also didn't score any points in the second half until the 49ers didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, that was a problem.
They don't. They're like, go ahead, score another touchdown. You can't catch us. So you can't really count those points.
No.
I think what's his face, the 49ers made adjustments at halftime. Shanahan, the son of the other one.
Shanahan.
Right, the other Shanahan, the same Shanahan Senior. So I'd be excited though if I was a Lions fan. You got a good year, you got a good future. You probably can't go all the way just like that, but it's the halftime adjustments. He nailed you. He got you.
Yeah.
You can't just blame it on an extra point, we went for 2, or it was 4th and 1 and we went for it. We should. There's a lot of other shit going on there. And all the players played well.
The kicker just stayed on the sideline. Trying to get in.
I know, the poor kicker. But you know what? If you're smart, just stay over there. You don't want to be the one that misses and loses the game. Kickers don't get enough appreciation when they make it. It's always just expected.
Yep.
And then they get crucified if they miss it.
Yeah.
It's a horrible job.
Tyler
Not
Bass.
enough. Well, I have a story. I have a good story about Tyler Bass, an update.
I said.
And then the other game was Chiefs Ravens. And Lamar didn't show up. I said it. Good morning football. Blah blah blah. Who do you trust more, Lamar or Patrick? Mahomes. Lamar. I don't know what happened there, but if you would have told me that score was going to be 17-10, I mean, no, the over was like 55 or some crap. All right, that's enough football talk. But we're going on to say
I lost a tiny bit of money on that.
you lost a tiny bit of money on DraftKings.
Yeah. And I
Well,
lost a lot
that's
of money.
because I think the whole world did. There was a lot of lines messed up, and then when San Francisco allowed that Detroit touchdown, that really fucked up the lines. Yeah, that's when people go, the NFL's rigged. But like me and my cousin Mike always say, if it is rigged, it's still one team that's going to do something. You got to pick. Just pick. Who cares if it's rigged? I don't even care. That's how much I like football. I don't even care if it's fake in front of my face.
Mike should phone
It's not rigged.
a betting part on this.
Yeah, I should have my cousin Mike call in with some betting tips for the Super Bowl. Because he can tell you why, and he's usually right. And he, I don't know. I'm going to take, for the Super Bowl, Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City. Even though in my bracket I have San Francisco going all the way, I've changed my mind now.
You're a Kansas City fan?
Kansas City was playing like shit leading up to the playoffs and this, and now they look great again. So
Kelce's back.
I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed.
You are.
And I'm changing my mind.
Who's winning the bracket pool?
My dad. There's like 37 people. I'm like, does everybody realize? Sometimes we jokingly call him Strokalope, my dad, because he's had a couple strokes. But he's fine. I mean, his brain's fine, all that. He's fine. I'm looking at this going, God damn. His brain is 50 times better than mine, and he's up to speed on all of it. So anyway, he's winning as of now. But for him to win, San Francisco has to win.
No.
There's other people right up on his ass that have anything. All right, moving on. Update! Hold on, this is just crazy. So Cher, she's trying to get conservative, Queen Cher, where is she back there? Trying to get conservatorship over Elijah Blue, her son. Elijah's wife claims that Cher is a manic depressive and unfit to serve as a conservator.
What? Good luck on that.
Yeah. She said she's a manic depressive and categorically unfit to serve as Elijah's conservator. In new documents,
I love this is the ex-wife. This is ridiculous.
no, it's still his wife.
Huh.
Did I say ex?
No, he's ex.
This lady's an ex-wife?
Yeah.
Did I say that?
No, I read that.
No, it's not. It's his wife.
You're still married?
Yes.
I've read ex-wife.
Don't put crazy facts into my head that I thought I didn't check and I probably didn't.
Ex-wife.
It's not an ex-wife.
Okay.
Here's what she says about her. She says, to my knowledge, the petitioner, Cher, has never known the security code to her own home, does not drive, does not prepare her own meals or dress herself, and has admitted to me that she is a manic depressive. Okay, well, when you're a zillionaire,
Exactly. You don't have to make your own stuff.
I would laugh my ass off if I said to Cher, hey, what's your garage code? And she went 49112 to 49. Of course she doesn't know.
No.
She doesn't drive. Why would you if you didn't have to? I hate driving. But I do, but I hate it. She does not prepare her own meals. Me neither. I hate cooking. I hate everything about it. Or dress herself. Well, I don't have anyone to dress me. So I put on my own clothes.
That's her baby cat.
She further alleges that Cher's personal assistant, Jennifer Ruiz, has taken over the Moonstruck Star private and public affairs, and believes Ruiz would do the same with Alman, leaving him surrounded by triggers. A trigger. Is that bad people? Is that what that means? He says he's successfully managing his finances. He's rented a home with this lady and remains sober. He also writes that he's been using a financial manager to issue necessary payments to the trust left to him of his late father, Greg Alman. I bet that's a shit ton, too. The Alman brothers, because they still get played a lot on the Sirius radio and all
Yes.
that. He said, I could have demanded that my mandatory distributions be made to me directly as required, but I did not do so. He said he's also submitted to voluntary drug testing 3 times in January, all of which he passed, and he reveals that he's been illicit, substance-free since October 10th. There's another hearing set. Well, I have the results.
Oh, boy. Survey says.
Survey says, judge says, Cher, you're out.
Whoa.
But you know what? Then at least she can go, well, I tried.
Right.
If he's pissing all his money away, he's like 50 years old. I don't understand this shit. Let him piss it away. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, here's what a judge ruled. A judge on Monday rejected her request that her adult son be put into court conservatorship controlling his money. He was not convinced. Oh, Jessica, somebody was not convinced that a conservatorship was urgently needed and declined the petition. She will consider a larger long-term conservatorship at a hearing in March. Cher observed the hearing remotely. She appeared on a large screen in the courtroom throughout, but did not take part in the arguments. If I was any of the attorneys, that's all I could focus on. Is Cher is on a big screen right now. So she doesn't get to. I hope he doesn't spend it all on drugs or whatever he likes.
We're going to have to do an update on this.
We'll do an update.
He filed for divorce for her.
He filed divorce, Elijah, to get rid of this lady.
And then immediately dismissed that before the conservatorship hearing.
Oh, he dismissed it before this hearing.
Yeah. So
Well,
they're technically married, but he clearly doesn't.
he doesn't want to be married to her. The judge won't care about any of that. They don't care about what's going on there. It's all about, are you a competent adult? And if he's been drug-free, everything illicit drug-free since October. Let's see, October, November, December. It's only 3 months, but he's trying. He's trying. Update. Yeah. October, November. Update. Oh my God. This is so. Okay, so we talked about Tay-Tay's stalker. And I'm not just saying this because of Taylor Swift. I'm saying this because I cannot believe that stalkers don't get in more trouble than they do.
Right.
They're never held. They're released right back at the same goddamn day. Well, this guy, he's been arrested twice. He was let out again And he was arrested for the third time less than 48 hours after his arrest, digging through the garbage bin across their street in New York City.
That's ridiculous.
I know. She has a townhouse, but she also has a Batman garage. I've seen it on Instagram, and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, it is crazy. He admitted he was there to see her at the same location less than 48 hours. He was arrested shortly before 7. They called a security team to block back. They got a police block after seeing the guy who'd been arrested standing on the street staring at her building. They spoke to the man, told him to leave the area. You know, I just don't. I don't know if they're keeping him or not, or if he got let out again. But I mean, if you're whoever, Taylor, any other these people,
He looks crazy.
I don't. Oh my God, there's a picture of his eyes look like pinwheels. I mean, he's there like popping out of his head, like whoa, 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 whoa. But this is like I had this. So this is where it gets crazy. Not just with her, but this stalking shit. This guy's 33 years old. His name is David Crow. You gotta, I don't know what you do with him. Put him in a psych ward, something,
Right.
and go, no, Cuckoo Bird Johnson, we're not doing
She's
this.
not your soulmate.
Here's some people that were stalked. And John Lennon. This guy, because I watched that whole documentary, this Mark David Chapman, the guy who killed him, went up to the doorman, and then the doorman goes, oh, you want to see him? He usually comes out about this. Gave the guy his schedule. Now, that was back then. I get it. But also, if I'm Yoko, well, I'm not paying the HOA dues this month. If you told that man when he could actually kill my husband, no, I'm not paying. And they're probably a lot in New York. He was just hanging outside the
Dakota.
yeah. He shot Lennon before notoriously opening a copy of J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye as he calmly waited for the police to arrive. Then there was Rebecca Schaefer, tragically shot and killed by a stalker when she answered the front door of her L.A. apartment She was only 21 years old.
Awful.
He was an obsessed fan. He paid a private investigator to track down her address through vehicle records. That's all out there.
Yeah.
Unless somebody bought it in a corporation. He's still in prison. Then they passed a law. It was the first anti-stalking law in 1990, which makes it a crime to willfully and maliciously harass another person who makes a credible threat with the intent to place that person in reasonable fear for his or her safety. This applies to normal people too.
Right.
I mean, they're not all rich, famous people.
No.
This girl probably wasn't even that rich. Teresa Saldana, Raging Bull actress, was approached by a crazy stalker outside of her West Hollywood apartment in 1982. A stranger asked if she was a famous actress she appeared to be. When she said yes, never say yes.
Never say that. No.
Violent superfan Arthur Johnson stabbed her multiple times with a hunting knife. She survived when a delivery truck driver fought off her attacker and pinned him down until cops arrived. She spent 3 months recovering in the hospital after the attack. He said he wrote in his diary he was on a divine mission to bring her to eternity.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
And then, I remember this because I had just done this venue. One of the youngsters, very sad, Christina Grimmie,
yeah.
she was on The Voice, which I didn't know. I don't watch all those things.
No. You're watching hard things.
No, I'm watching. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm watching in a minute. What I watched for 6 hours. Voice singer and YouTube star was killed by an obsessed fan while signing autographs at a post-concert event in Orlando, Florida, in 2016.
So sad.
Yeah, he was infatuated. He thought the two would get married, and then wow. Oh, Madonna had a guy hop the fence and her people killed him. They shot him. Yeah, they shot her stalker Robert Hoskins after he hopped the fence at her Hollywood Hills estate in 1995. He had previously said he'd either marry Madonna or slash her throat from ear to ear. Fortunately, she was in Miami at the time. Yeah, he got 10 years for that.
10 years?
So, if you're Madonna, now maybe he doesn't want to stalk a 65-year-old these days, but I'd think about it. I would think about it.
Marry me or I'll stay.
And then you think, well, what's the answer? So if you're a Tay-Tay, do you give up on New York City and go to some giant estate? But then I think that's just more land he can jump a fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say you're the Judds with 5,000 acres or whatever they have here outside of Nashville. How can you possibly guard all that?
Garth has a mountain.
Garth has a mountain? Garth should have a mountain. I'm sure he's emblazoned a giant G on top of it. Update! Arizona, plans have been submitted for you to get a what? A Buc-ee's! Yeah! Yeah! Please approve it. So next time I come there, it's going to be near Interstate 10 and Bullard Avenue. The city's Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously approved a plan to rezone 71 acres. Boom!
Nice.
Yes. The Goodyear City Council still needs to vote on the project before it can move forward. Right now, there's 47 Buc-ee's locations, 34 in Texas. The rest are dispersed across the southeast United States. Wisconsin's getting one, too, though, up in the Dells. Update! This is a sweet update.
It's a swap date.
It's a swap date. Buffalo Bills fans support Tyler Bass. That's their kicker who missed the field goal, which did not help in their losing effort. Is it an effort if you lose? There's been a rush of positivity. I say P-A-W-S. Support online for Buffalo Bills kicker Tyler Bass after he missed a 44-yard kick in the 27-24 divisional round loss to the Chiefs that would have tied the game with 1:43 seconds left. Everybody got so mad he had to delete his social media. It was very upsetting. Very sad. Well, everybody's donated so far. It's over $110,000 to be made to in his name to the 10 Lives Clubs, a nonprofit cat adoption group based in the Buffalo area that is dedicated to reducing the number of cats euthanized every year and the number put in shelters per Public Relations Kimberly LaRussa. The number is now continuing to increase. He has a picture of him supporting it, and he has a really cool cat. I think it's a Maine Coon cat, and it looks like a Batman cat. It has black eyes, like he's white and black. Yeah.
Oh.
So at least something good came out of it. He shouldn't have to delete his. Yeah, there's his cat. Only a punk would hurt a cat or a dog. Show your soft side. He's adorable. Yeah. Is he single, ladies? Buffalo people, get on it. Update. Alexander Hamilton's pistol. I told you about it. Well, it got $800,000.
Stop.
I told you.
Who wants that?
Gun people, gun collectors, gun enthusiasts, if you will. It was expected to achieve about $500,000. We talked about this. And I said I think it would get a lot more because there's so many gun. It has his initials on it. Hamilton's a very popular musical. Well, it got $800,000. I just think people with that much money, if you have $800,000, just bid 1.5. Right. I would think that would have gone for a lot more. Update. I do not understand this. And all the termites sent it to me immediately, and I was already on it, but keep sending those things because sometimes I'm not on it if I'm traveling or whatever. Protesters hurl soup at the Mona Lisa in Paris. Soup! How many security meetings do we need to have? How many, guys?
Don't bring soup.
We're not allowing soup in. Pumpkin soup, nonetheless. It was
Pumpkin soup?
gross, I know. And then if it was something I liked, I'd be mad they wasted it. They could have fed homeless people with that soup.
Yep, good soup.
There's two ladies. One's a younger one, and one's a little older. And they threw it looked like they had the soup in like a beer, I call them coddles, can bottle. I hate those. Just go with a can or give me a bottle. But I don't like the middle. But Ron did have a good point because the lid screws on those, like a Mick Ultra, the coddles, as I call them. If you're golfing, the wind won't flatten out your beer while you're driving your cart. See, they just see little drinking tips. Even though I don't like the taste, I don't like the beer coming out of them, whatever. That's what it looked like they had soup in. It looked like a can bottle of beer, but instead it's orange soup. Now the Mona Lisa's covered in glass, but somebody's got to clean all this shit up. I would make them do it, first of all. Yes. Here's our cleaning stuff. Start now, and then you're going to be arrested and you're going to prison. Right. I've had it. I've just had it. But I really had it with security. What the hell is going on? I mean, no. The answer is no. You know what? If you have to, you get lockers and say, you can't take that in. If you want to rent a locker, they're right there. You put your backpack and all your bullshit, but you're going in here hands-free. Right. There's drinking fountains if you need a drink. Yep. There you go. Old school. We're going Catholic grade school. There's 2 drinking fountains. Follow the arrows. Get on over there if you're dying of thirst. The environmental group, I'm not even going to say their name. 2 protesters involved in the campaign were behind that. The Louvre has reopened the Salle d'Etat. I said that right. Salle d'Etat, which means Room of States, which houses the Mona Lisa after it was evacuated. Then I started reading the comments, and one guy goes, if you think that's the real Mona Lisa anyway, you're a moron. You know what? I don't think the Louvre is lying to me.
No.
2 activists, blah, blah, blah. The Louvre security staff was immediately intervened. Way too late. Way too late. You know what they did? They put up like those partitions so nobody could see them. Well, it doesn't matter if you can't see them. You can hear them. I could still hear them going, les enfants. Like they're calling the children. Like the museum said it was lodging a complaint. The enigmatic portrait is no stranger. We know the history of I don't need to go to the... In 2009, a woman angrily threw a ceramic cup at the painting, breaking the cup, but leaving the painting unharmed. Were you walking in with your morning coffee from home in a ceramic cup? No, they've got to stop this.
See the Mona Lisa.
In 2022, a visitor smeared frosting all over the Renaissance era paintings productive. Frosting. Oh, ma'am, can I see what's in your purse? Don't fuck with my Betty Crocker ready-to-made frosting. I love that shit. I eat it right out of the can. I just do not.
You know what? They need a no bag policy.
No bag policy. Exactly.
Pick it up when you get
Or it's got to be the clear bag, like at the stadiums, and the people checking need to really check. Is there anything in there that could be
soup
thrown or damaging? It's just terrible. It's terrible. That's why my inner old person comes out. That's just awful. Okay. We're moving on to holy shit, they found it. They might have found it. And all the termites were on this one too. This is one of the first books I read for a book report. And this is where my parents should have been like, okay. One of my first books was about Amelia Earhart's missing plane. So it's no surprise that I'm still obsessed with Flight 370, the Malaysia airline missing plane. Because I couldn't believe... Well, I watched a thing with my dad way back, and they said that they found, like, a woman's cream thing on this island. Like, did her and Fred live for a while? Right. Did they die? Well, a former U.S. Air officer spent $11 million searching for Amelia Earhart's long-lost plane, and he may have found it.
So great.
Here's the thing. He found somebody's plane. It looks like a plane with the sonar. Now, is it hers? I don't know. A lot of those islands were stopping places in World War II. He believes an image he captured using may have finally answered one of the most baffling mysteries. What caused the disappearance of the iconic pilot at the height of her fame? Tony Romeo is one of a long line of researchers and hobbyists who have taken up the search for Earhart's distinctive Lockheed. See, and then I think, well, I would like to hang out with somebody like that. To a point, though. If you're going to spend $11 million, now you're obsessed. Like, I'm obsessed when I feel like it, and then I let it go. Like Malaysia Flight 370, I've pretty much let it go. But I do have Google alerts, but that's normal. That's normal. The mystery sounding her appearance has long since puzzled researchers and spurred conspiracy theories over the year, from the Japanese taking her prisoner. And there were witnesses, Japanese people, that said we saw 2 white people, super tall lady, she was very tall, that were in the Japanese. That's another theory. The other theory is Nicomo Island. Everybody doesn't need to know all the theories I know. There's a lot out there. This guy, Romeo, a former real estate investor who sold commercial properties to raise the $11 million needed to begin to fund the research, returned in December from a roughly 100-day voyage at sea with a sonar image that believes he shows the lost plane in the ocean's depths. Now, none of the articles I read, I couldn't figure out if this is near the island that they thought they landed on, because they found American stuff, like 2 people survived and then died. Right. Like by a little fire and all that kind of stuff. He used a $9 million high-tech unmanned submersible. This is all hard shit. Nobody needs to know. Okay. He was getting out of real estate and looking for a new project, so I started about 18 months ago. This is something I've been thinking and researching for a long time. They captured a sonar image of a plane-shaped object about 100 miles from Holland Island, but didn't discover the image. So how close is it to the island? But didn't discover the image in the submersible until the 90th day of the voyage, making it impractical to turn back to get a closer look. So they were too far away. Well, you got to speed up that process then, because you're going to have to keep going back if you're not getting it till 2-3 days later. Okay. The image was taken just about right geographically compared to where Earhart's flight is believed to have gone down. Other people say they need clearer views and more details, such as the plane's serial number. Until you physically take a look, there's no way to be sure. Right, it could be a World War II plane.
Right.
I don't know. Any people know, are those the same planes, what she was flying in? It could be, right, it could be a missing aircraft lost in the Pacific, or less interesting, perhaps, another man-made object that fell off a shipping container. It looks like a plane.
Yeah.
I don't see it looking like a shipping container thing. He's confident. So we'll do an update. If there's a confirmation, they got to go back, though.
Right.
This is fun. This is exciting. This is my research.
Fun announcement.
Well, it's a holy shit, they found it. It's from my research assistant, Heather in Arizona. These are on top of the ones that I already talked about. New colonies of emperor penguins revealed by bird poop visible from space. These emperor penguins, yes. These guys are it's me waddling at you. They're 5 foot tall and they weigh a hundo. Can you imagine if I was an actual penguin? Like, I didn't understand they were that big.
We're gonna practice.
I did not understand that an emperor, I know emperor means the large ones, but I didn't understand 5 foot tall, 100 pounds coming at you. But I would make perfect eye contact with it.
Hello.
Poop stains are rarely cause for celebration. Yeah, but they are the reason researchers have been able to identify 4 new colonies of emperor penguins, a species threatened by extinction by climate change. The scientists from British survey used satellite images to spot telltale patches of penguins' guano, visible from space, a series of brown smudges against the vast of the white continent. The 4 colonies most likely existed for years, but hadn't been spotted until Peter Fretwell pored over some of the images. Some of the colonies appeared to be moving as climate change threatens the Antarctic sea ice on which they live and breed. Emperor penguins are classed as near threatened, with about 600,000 left in the wild. 50% drop over the past half century.
Oh.
That's sad. They don't bother anybody.
Nope.
No. So hold on. I want to see if they put, because I had 2 of these articles. Yeah. 5 foot tall. That is crazy.
We're gonna practice your penguin waddle later.
I'll do my penguin waddle. Maybe I'll go on stage like that. 5 foot tall. That's crazy. Moving on to news. This is my state.
Oh no.
Yeah. Alabama, hold our beer. Missouri's got something to say.
Nice.
A Missouri rule would allow senators to challenge each other to a duel.
What? What did you just say?
I'm for it. I'm all for it. I think it's time we just start shooting each other. All these politicians, if done correctly, we'll end up with half the amount of politicians we had to begin with. A member of the Missouri Senate has proposed a rule change that, if passed, would allow senators to challenge each other to a duel. Senator Nick Schroer put a motion to adopt a rule to allow state politicians to settle grievances through physicality. His proposed amendment was posted on Twitter by Missouri Democrats. It read, if a senator's honor is impugned by another senator to the point where it is beyond repair, and in order for the offended senator to gain satisfaction, such senator may rectify the perceived insult to the senator's honor by challenging the offending senator to a duel. I'd like to see Nancy and Mitch go at it. Probably take 50 rounds to hit anything, because they're 100. They're just shooting up into the air. The trusted representative, known as the second of the offended senator, shall send a written challenge to the offending senator. The 2 senators shall agree to the terms of the duel including the choice of weapons, which shall be witnessed and enforced by their respective seconds. The duel shall take place in the well of the Senate at the hour of high noon. High noon.
I like
And
those
we'll also,
seltzers.
I'll be selling high noon seltzers outside the event. We're going to treat this like WWE, and I'm going to have a cooler on a date that the parties agree to the duel. First of all, I'd like it outside.
Right.
I don't want it in the bottom of the Senate. No, we don't need to be wrecking shit there. We have a nice Capitol. Let's not do that. I'm for this. We could eliminate half of our own politicians if they agreed.
Especially because they're all old.
Senator Schroe is deeply committed to restoring a sense of honor in the Missouri State Senate. While the idea of a duel may have been suggested in a metaphorical sense, I don't think it was. No. The way you got to see the response to it. The Democrats called, in a statement, they called the whole thing an embarrassment. Well, right. I mean, but somebody spent time on this. I mean, seriously.
I would trust Claire McCaskill with a pistol.
Yeah, I'd let Claire McCaskill go after any of them. Yeah. She's rural enough. She knows how to, I'm sure she knows how to shoot a gun.
Yeah, she'd be great. You know what that calls for?
So this guy said a Missouri Republican's proposal to reintroduce dueling to solve state house differences was branded utter stupidity by a leading historian of political violence. Back in the day, so-and-so of Yale tweeted, they were smart enough to take dueling outside. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's always so much more fun if we're going to have an event. Let's really do it up.
Exactly.
Let's, make it like the rodeo. Maybe put it at halftime at the rodeo. Every small town in Missouri has a rodeo. Mm-hmm.
Welcome, your senator.
Yeah. Yay, here comes the Democrat. Yay, here comes the Republican. Yay. And then it's like The Simpsons if you're the opposing party. Boo. The draft that I saw suggests doing this in the chamber. This doesn't show guts or bravery or manhood. If it's supposed to, it shows utter stupidity.
I agree. It's ridiculous.
I said bring it back. I want this back, and I want halftime shows where we put children in balloons and they fly to wherever they fly. Go see if you can find your kid. It's called Find Your Kid. It's going to be a new reality show. Can you find your child? I love it. Hold on. Oh, speaking of WWE, oh my God, my friend Little Dorf will be so excited. Do I watch wrestling? No. I did with my grandma as a kid because there was a thing called Wrestling at the Chase live in St. Louis. We had 3 real channels and 2 fuzzy ones. They were fuzzy. Sadly, hockey was on the fuzzy one. So if you think hockey's hard to watch now, you should have seen it when I was a child. But wrestling was on one of the fuzzy channels because it was being broadcast from downtown St. Louis from the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. So it was live wrestling at the Chase.
Nice.
My grandma liked it, so I watched it with her. But I quit. I don't watch wrestling anymore. And I don't watch UFC stuff either. But I do like boxing. That's where I'm a hypocrite. Because I'm like, I love boxing. And then somebody turns on UFC. I'm like, oh, this is so barbaric. Okay, Kathleen, the boxing wasn't. I don't know. Boxing seems, I just see how mutilated those people get in the UFC thing. That's terrifying. Like, I guess boxing can be as bad, but it always seems to get stopped before it goes into like somebody's just kicking a guy who's bleeding to death. Yeah, but not blaming anybody who likes it. It ain't my thing. Netflix took big steps into live events on Tuesday with more than a $5 billion rights deal that would make it the exclusive home of World Wrestling Entertainment's Raw from January 2025.
Wow.
Dorf will be so excited. He could get his matches live. Mm-hmm. The 10-year partnership will put Raw on the streaming platform in U.S., Canada, Britain, and Latin America, among other territories. Cool. Yeah, the Lucha Libre. I'd rather watch that.
Yeah.
Much rather watch that because the Lucha Libre, their costumes are fantastical and great. Their masks are fantastic. They're like goalie masks. They're going to have pay-per-view live events such as WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. The streaming pioneer has the option to extend the deal for another 10 years or to opt out after the initial 5 years. Netflix began experimenting with live events last year with comedian Chris Rock's stand-up special Selective Outrage. It has also found success with sports-related Formula One documentary series Drive to Survive and the behind-the-scenes documentary of Full Swing. Chris Rock's, I like Chris. I know him. He's nice. But to do stand-up live, it's really no different than if you see it taped. I mean, if you go see my show and then you go watch something, well, I don't do them so a year before I do a special, let's say, whatever you saw on stage is what you'll see on that special, pretty much. Live doesn't, you can always go watch a stand-up special.
Right.
I don't want to go watch a boxing match after I already heard who won. Well, kind of, but I'm not going to pay for it. I'm just going to wait for it to come on YouTube. Speaking of, so there you go, wrestling fans, if you're into it. And speaking of Netflix, my 6-hour binge, oh my God, I did not think I was going to go down this rabbit hole. I do have things I should be doing. But see, this is why the nuns were right. Kathleen does not make productive use of her free time. Go watch if you like true crime and if you enjoyed Narcos and like movies like, you know, Scarface and all. I love those. Godfathers, all that, blah, blah, blah. This is called Grizdella, Grisdela.
So good.
Sophia
I haven't watched all of it.
Vera, I never know how to say her last name. Sophia Vergara.
Let's get that right.
She plays Gristela Blanco. Griselda. I know it's hard. Griselda with a G. Sophia Vergara. Well, Sophia is a lot prettier than the real one. I Googled the real one. But she was the #1 female narco for a long time. And she took over all of Miami. And the amount of people she killed is unreal. But this show, I'm going to have to go back. There's scenes in there where I must have said out loud by myself 100 times, oh my God. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it's all based on a true story. And I won't tell you what happens, but I'm just saying if that's your thing, 6 hours later, there's 6 total. So that's really bad for an addict like me because if you have an addictive personality, you're going to go, oh, fuck, I'm on 4. If there was 13, I'd have stopped.
Refill your wine.
Yeah, I just go get more wine and more people are going to die. And none of you should have taken these jobs. I mean, I'm sorry you did, but I know it was... I hope she wins every trophy available with the awards that could be had by her because I know she's in some silly shows and she's always funny and she's pretty. But this was crazy. Everybody in it's great. And even the kids are great. Her sons and the parties, the amount of money they spent because it's the late 70s, 80s. And everybody's dressed like that, and the cars, and I can't even believe it. And she's an executive producer. Good for her.
Yeah.
Because that means she'll get a shit ton of that money too. Moving on. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I've been here quite a few times. Developers want to build America's tallest skyscraper in an unlikely city. Would you like to guess? The tallest one.
The tallest ever?
Well, in the United States.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? No. They don't have it. They don't have enough room downtown. You'd have to wreck something. You giving up? You
Wichita.
just Wichita. Wouldn't that be something?
Seattle.
No, Seattle's got the Space Needle.
I know, but Amazon's got money there.
Well, Amazon does have, and so does Starbucks.
How about Austin?
Not Austin. No? It's too crowded. Ron would get mad. Ron's downtown. He'd get mad. Nope. A group of developers want to construct what would be America's tallest building in an unlikely place. Oklahoma City. The proposed location for the 1,900-foot Legends Tower is certainly unconventional. The skyscraper would be more than double the height of Oklahoma's tallest building now, and the 5th tallest building in the world. The tallest buildings in the United States right now are in New York and Chicago, the country's first.
City.
Yeah. Respectively, Oklahoma is America's 20th largest city with around 700,000 pupils. Developers note that Oklahoma city is expanding and it can support such a project. It grew by 2% between 2020 and 2022. That's not a whole lot. It's going to be part of this entertainment thing. Let me see if that was all in here because I read it somewhere. So it's a place called Bricktown, and I believe there's a comedy club there called Bricktown Comedy. Yeah. I see my younger friends working at that place. I never worked there. It didn't exist when I was doing clothes. It would have a Hyatt hotel with hundreds of rooms, and this tower, around 1,700 apartments and 110,000 square feet of retail stores and restaurants. So it's functional.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
In Bricktown, the district where the massive development project and skyscraper is slated, the developers say demand exists because of the new sports and entertainment options. Voters recently approved a new arena for the NBA's Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Thunder, and the Thunder. And plans for a new soccer stadium are in the works.
Soccer.
But they have to get approval from Oklahoma City to build the tower. So we'll tell you if it happens. It's going to cost $1.6 billion and include the $770 million tower. The tower alone is $770 million. Multiple sources will fund it, including $200 million in subsidies approved by the city.
That's
All right,
awesome.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how you grow. I thought they were going to say it would be at that new resort thing we talked about on here out in Oklahoma somewhere, but I don't even remember.
We're improving Oklahoma.
5 states are offering you up to $20,000 incentive to move there.
Oh.
Hello, children? Children. Children.
North Dakota.
No. North Dakota's not one of them.
Just a flat no?
No.
Okay, they should think about that.
Do you want to guess again?
Iowa.
Nope. Iowa is not going to do this.
Okay. Wyoming.
Nope.
All of those should. They should all think about this.
West Virginia,
Okay.
Kansas, Oklahoma,
Yep.
Indiana,
Yep.
and Kentucky.
Huh.
I would pick
Kansas, I like.
parts of Kansas are fine. There's a lot of blank Kansas. There's a lot of blank Kansas. There's nothing. They have signs that are like, do you have all the shit you need? You won't see shit for another 7,000 miles. I think West Virginia and Kentucky, I'm thinking airports and stuff. I don't know. I think, I don't know. Kentucky would be more my weather. I'd like the weather in Kentucky better.
Like the bourbon.
Yeah, I could just go down a bourbon trail and commit to the sweetness of bourbon and go, I'm in. The cost of living increases around the country. Some states are offering big financial incentives to bring new residents to their towns. Hold on. They're doing it through weird incentives, but nonetheless, you will get the money. So, a real estate company said the cities in the Great Lakes, Midwest, and the South are the hottest markets. Boom! Home value growth and how quickly homes are being sold. West Virginia, they offer $12,000 to remote workers who move to the mountain state. West Virginia is beautiful.
very pretty.
If you can work remotely,
Yep.
well, okay. You have to be 18 years older and have a full-time remote job to qualify for the program. If selected, are you listening, Michael Schumerville? My friend? Participants will receive $10,000 over their first year paid in monthly installments. They will receive $2,000 after completing their second year in West Virginia. Completing your second. You make it sound like you signed up for a college. Well, I was shipped away to the Sorbonne, and I completed my second year, and I was given an apartment in Paris. Cities such as Morgantown, I've been there, it's fun, and Greenbrier Valley offer additional incentives to bring the total up to $20,000. Kansas, city of Topeka is offering $15,000 to move and work in Shawnee County. I don't know enough about that to commit to that. Participants, I know I've been to Topeka. Yeah. They could receive $10,000 for renting in the first year and $15,000 for purchasing a home.
Doesn't one of your nephews live in Topeka?
Yeah, one of my nephews. Yeah, he's in Topeka. Yeah, sometimes. And then, I don't know. These kids work remotely and they just buzz around. I don't really know what they do. They'll call from crazy locations, and I don't really know.
Who dis?
Kansas also offers a tax reimbursement for employee moving expenses for those who want to relocate to the Sunflower State.
I like it.
Kansas is the Sunflower State.
Very
Average home in Kansas, are you listening, Californians? $212,000.
Oh, wonderful.
Oklahoma, they're offering $10,000 to remote workers who move to Oklahoma. Well, I could say I work remotely and I just happen to travel a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Well, I'm going to get on down to Oklahoma City then, live right in that tower. Right there. Yep.
By the comedy.
Right
club.
by the comedy club. Yeah, same. Indiana, Several communities. Well, where? If it's by St. Elmo's with their spicy shrimp cocktail, I'm totally there.
Right.
You get cash incentives starting at $5,000. In southern Indiana, Davies County will give new residents $5,000 to move to the rural community. Average home value in Indiana, are you listening? New York, California, $227,000.
Stop it.
Bam,
Boom.
mic drop. See, go. But this is for the children.
And you get a yard.
Go start somewhere.
Yes.
You can live somewhere super fancy later. Kentucky. 5 counties in eastern Kentucky came together to offer financial incentives for remote workers, shaping our region. Package includes $5,000 cash for relocation, up to a $2,500 bonus for a spouse who will work locally in education or healthcare. That's a good idea. Yeah. And a welcome package worth $250.
Stop it.
You're gonna have a great time at Applebee's. Here's the problem. When they say rural area, that means I might have an Applebee's.
Right.
Definitely have a McDonald's. It's gonna be hard to spend that $250. Oh, does that count for liquor, or do they limit me and go, "There's no alcohol included in that welcome package"? Average Kentucky home value, $194,000.
Stop it.
I'm trying to help the children.
Yeah.
If you're young and you don't have kids and cars and houses, go. Why not?
save some
Take the money.
Save some money.
Take the money. Frozen alligators in North Carolina. I only know this because I asked the people at Kiowa. Kiowa Island is in South Carolina, and it's one of my favorite places on earth to golf because it's really going into a swamp. There's alligators and ospreys, and it's just, you just go into a whole nother world. And the trees, everything is just...
Magical.
My mom didn't like it. There were alligators everywhere, Kathleen. I'm like, I know, Mom. There were 4 in the lobby, and I was like, what the fuck are alligators? Everywhere, Mom. They're just everywhere. There was one in my room. I called down to housekeeping and said, can you please remove the alligator? She'll see one on the side of the road. Oh, my God. The place is just crawling with alligators. No, it's not, Mom. There's a lot on the golf course, but they stay by the pond. They don't do anything. So if it gets too cold, so alligators can breathe underwater for a very long time. And that's why, and snakes can go underwater too. A lot of people think snakes can't be underwater, and yes, they can, and they can bite you underwater. That's just another something. Yep. Terrifying gatorcicles were found suspended in North Carolina swamp when the temperatures dropped. So what they do,
Gatorcicles?
that's what they're calling them, gatorcicles instead of an icicle. So what the alligators do is when the ice starts to if it starts to ice over a pond, they shove their snout through the ice, and then they can still breathe, and then they freeze in that spot, but they're still breathing.
Okay.
Now the question is, how much would it cost you to step over that thing and hope it didn't wake up and attack you? That's a game I like to play in my head.
Hit you up in weird games. Weird games.
The frozen alligators you can see, there's pictures of them. Go online. It's amazing. You just see their snouts coming out. Frozen alligators were recorded at the Swamp Park, a coastal tourist attraction that allows humans to spy on alligators in the wild. It's an alligator sanctuary about 175 miles south of Raleigh. If you want to go see one, you can go see gatorcicles. Their pond that they live in has frozen. Thick enough for these guys to do what they do, which is stick their nose up out of the ice so that they can breathe and suspend themselves in the water. The rarely witnessed adaptation allows alligators to survive cold snaps while frozen in place. When you pass by, you'll see only snouts and teeth, really big teeth, sticking out of the murky ice. It's considered an extreme form of brumation, the less restrictive reptile version of winter hibernation. They wake up to drink water and bask in the sun on warm winter days. North Carolina is the most northern range of the American alligator. I did not know that.
The American alligator.
Yeah, due to the extreme cold experienced in states farther north. But you know what? So I'm sitting here in Tennessee right now. There's no alligators in these lakes
No.
yet.
Right.
They're in Alabama, though,
Yeah, they're coming.
and they're coming north in Alabama.
Gatorland's
As
gonna get real busy.
Gatorland's going to be very busy with lost alligators that are somebody's calling a sanctuary and going, get this thing out of my yard. What are you supposed to do with it? The 65-acre swamp park made international news in 2018 when it became the first sites in the world to document alligators had mysteriously found a way to adapt. They told me this in Kiowa a long time ago. They could stay frozen in place for days at a time. Temperatures fell to 17 degrees on Ocean Isle Beach the day the video was recorded. They just instinctively know when the water is about to freeze. They position themselves right at the right moment and close their eyes and are allowed the water to harden around them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in this pond too. So there you go. If you want to go see one, I just told you where. You want to see a Gatorcicle? Not a problem.
Gatorcicle. I love that. Never heard that.
I like it.
Yep.
Oh my God. I think this is mean, and I don't agree with this.
Okay.
United Airlines flight attendants face being terminated if they use their mobile phones.
When?
Well, that's just it. What do you want to dial it back to 1950 where your quote stewardess was sitting there reading a magazine? I mean, I've seen you smoking a cig, probably having a cocktail in her go-go boots. I mean, if it's a cross-country flight or even a flight of 2 hours or more, there's a time when they have nothing to do and they're sitting in the jump seat. What they used to read books, so
Those
what?
don't exist anymore.
Well, books exist or Kindles exist. I'm saying, what is the difference between
Kindles don't exist anymore.
Kindles? Oh, yes, they do. Because in first class, sometimes I will see there will be an old turtle, as I like to call him, holding on, downloading shit left and right. Loves that Kindle. Somebody busts one out every single flight I'm on, and I'm always like, wow.
I want pictures.
All right, I'll start taking pictures. And their font is usually enormous, so I could read their book for free.
Hang on, I didn't catch that paragraph.
They're going to face disciplinary action, which could include even being terminated if they're caught using their phones. And really, honestly, I've seen when there's nothing to do. They've fed everybody. They've given everybody a drink. It's downtime. I've seen them on their phones. I never thought that was a rude thing.
No.
What do you, if you, and a couple times I did want like another drink. And I just walked up and said, excuse me. And they go, oh, sure. They hop right. It's not like, this is so strange that they would go down this road. United sent out a hard-hitting memo explaining exactly why it's going to start taking such a tough stance on flight attendants caught texting, playing games, or even watching videos on their mobile phone or other devices like iPads and tablets. The memo politely reminds crews that they are there to provide visible and attentive service to customers. Well, see, now what the first thing they always say is, I'm here for your safety.
Right.
They don't like being thought of as a flying waiter.
Waitress. As they'd say, instead of server.
Instead of server, I know. My dad will go, is that gal our waitress? Both of those words we're not using anymore, Dad. We're not using gal. She's 57. We're using server. We've moved on. The whole country's moved on. Customers look to flight attendants for great service. How comfortable would you be asking someone for help if they were engrossed in their cell phone? No problem.
Right.
Same if they were reading a book. If you're polite and nice. What impression would that give you? Well, because she's got nothing else. He's got nothing else to do right now. We're flying. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's bolts on the plane.
United, I think you should spend your time worrying more about on-time departures. You don't see any of this shit going down with Delta.
Nope.
Just saying. I love Delta.
I know.
Although I flew 2 million miles total, I guess. And they sent me a model airplane. Like, what do you think I'm a 13-year-old boy? What the fuck is this?
A model airplane?
It's enormous. I don't know what to do with it.
Let's put it together.
It's a Delta plane. Oh, no, it's already put together. They didn't even give me the fun of going, well, maybe I'll try a model. See if I can glue my fingers together as a child like I would. I hated models. I don't follow instructions well. And then I'd just try to stick shit in. I'd shove a wing here or something. And no, my brothers had all those models and cars, and it's tiny pieces. And no, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Yeah, it's strange.
Take it to Kim.
Oh, they say it could have an impact on safety. What?
Stop it. No, it's not.
They're just really mad. Using a mobile phone while sitting in a jump seat during takeoff and landing. I don't see them doing that.
No.
Ever. No. And I fly United sometimes.
When you're forced to.
Well, when I'm forced to, and it's against my will. Right. But Lewis speaks highly of them.
Wow.
Lewis flies them out of New York all the time.
Right.
But I just don't. I think that's just unnecessarily mean. What do you want them to do?
Right.
Magazines used to be okay.
Yep.
What's the difference if she's zooming through TikTok or reading a magazine or he or whomever.
Magazines are
Ma-
$19 now. Stupid.
Magazines are ridiculous. I still can't believe, like, what are those W.H. Smith stores in every airport? That's a chain. And it's mostly magazines.
Yeah.
And they're like $11, $8, $11. And usually it's already outdated info. So I don't know how they're still all doing it.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
By the way, Lewis's garden and gun should be at his house when he returns from his trek out west. I'm so excited. He won't know why.
You got a garden gun.
Yeah.
A subscription.
Yeah. He doesn't have any guns and he doesn't have a garden. But you know what? Because he gives me Consumer Reports. And then he sends, and I'm like, he also sends me this magazine called The Week, which I do like, but he clearly clicked on something and I get 2 every week. I don't need 2. I only need 1.
You get 2 weeks.
Yeah, I get 2 weeks every week from The Week. The Consumer Reports, I said at one time or another, man, I wish I had one of those Consumer Reports because, I was going to buy an ice maker and I didn't feel like researching it. And he heard that, and then I think he got all excited and thought, I know what I'm going to get her for her birthday.
Click.
They do have interesting things. Like, I do like it. It's just some days I get home from the road and I'm really tired. It's been a long flight home, and I get the mail and I'm like, that's too hard. Now, Garden and Gun, open it up. Summer cocktail you never thought of. Yes, yes, yes. This made me laugh really hard. There's a British zoo, and it has a plan to rehabilitate its potty mouth. They cuss badly to these parrots, not just damn or shit. They say very bad things. They're going to try to make them stop. A British wildlife park has hatched a new plan to rehabilitate potty mouth parrots after they unleashed a tide of expletives. Back in 2020, the 5 foul-mouthed African grey parrots donated to Lincolnshire Wildlife Park in eastern England were isolated from the flock in an attempt to improve their language. But from Tuesday, the team is adopting a different, riskier approach of integrating the 3 newly donated cuss-happy birds named Eric, Captain, and Sheila across the original 5 miscreants into the flock. Wow. When we came to move them in, the language that came out of their carrying boxes was phenomenal, really bad. Not normal swear words. These were proper swear words. We put 8 really offensive swearing parrots in with 92 non-swearing ones. Well, what if those 8 teach the 92 how to say "fuck you"?
Yeah, they could have.
Now you're gonna have 92 parrots going "fuck you."
How bold are their personalities?
If the new strategy works, the 8 parrots could learn all the nice noises like microwaves and vehicles reversing that other parrots in the flock favor. But if the other 92 instead pick up the cuss words, it's going to turn into some adult aviary. Aviary? I never say that right. Aviary, right. They have large signs warning the visitors. That's what would make me want to see them. I don't need a warning. How about an invitation? Right. Kathleen, would you like to see these parrots cuss their ass off? Yes. But so far, the park hasn't received a single complaint. We did hear a lot more customers swearing at parrots than we did parrots swearing at customers. Well, I'll let you know if it works out. I'll stay on top of this story, Turbites. Don't you worry.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to save a couple of these for next time.
That's so funny.
I will say that the Volocopter, the flying taxi, they're really trying to get permission to be at the Paris Olympics, and I want to see it, and I want them to get permission. A German company is seeking to use the exposure generated by the Paris Olympics to overcome the opposition of local politicians and demonstrate the flying taxis can serve the French capital. I like it. Come on, let them. You know what? You should bring who's ever the host in on one of these into the infield.
Whoa, great idea.
Wow.
Whoa. Marketing.
Yep.
I like it.
If you could fly it in Paris, you could fly it in any city of the world. The company's Volo City is a 2-seat electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that resembles a giant insect crown with 18 rotors. It wants to be the first such aircraft certified by the EASA, and the FAA, the European. But so far, they're saying no. They're not going to let them.
Well,
why not?
if you crash.
If you crash, it'd be one of the most memorable Olympics ever. And that German company would have to go back to the drawing board. That's right. Oh, I did. I did forget I promised this. And then I'm going to tell you a funny little story and we'll be done. What are the red? Okay, so on your red Solo cup, I should have brought one up.
Well, yeah.
I'll save it for next week when I have the cup.
No.
Okay.
We'll do an update.
Well, here's the truth behind the myth.
drink
Because everybody has their own theories of what those lines are. Do you know what? When they said everybody has all these theories, I never thought twice about it. I just went, oh, look at that.
Fill it up.
That's how they made a cup. Yep. Red Solo cup. I fill you up. But to which lines? Longman thought that the lines on the Solo cup were there to measure alcohol content. But Snoop's, I guess that's bigger, debunked the theory. The belief was that the bottom line designates one shot, the middle line is 5 ounces of wine, and the top is 12 for beer. Who would think about this? Never even crossed my mind.
Well, because when you pour one can in.
Well, plus, I really, if possible, I'd really rather have wine in a glass. Sorry, call me, like it's not like I'm not a snob.
You spend too much time.
No, I want my beer in a Solo cup, fine. But wine? No. That's, even I would go, no.
All right.
They say, the company says that the placement of lines was not meant to act as a way to gouge serving sizes. The true meaning of the line is asked on its website a lot. The lines mean something different for everyone. Oh, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, stupid.
The original 18-ounce Solo cup, which launched in the 70s, had lines that roughly equaled measurements of 1, 5, and 12 ounces. Well, but once you pour your beer in, I guess this is why I never think about it. I pour my beer in, and it's perfect to hold a beer. I don't need to think, oh, look, there's 12 ounces, and there's 12 ounces in a can. For some, it means a responsible pour at their next tailgate. That's never happened. I've never felt, I need to take this Solo cup and put a responsible pour in it. No, I'm like, is that cup deep enough for all my beer? That's what I would think. And for our litter fans, it means they can stack and unstack our cup into a pyramid without sticking them together. That's what I also thought was going on. And I may or may not have them in the back of the car. And the kids really, when they were little, it was a great toy. They loved it. I mean, by the end, in their car seats, I would give them Solo cups, and they'd bang them and throw them everywhere. I mean, there'd be 50 of them all over the car when we were done, but they had a good time. So really, they don't mean anything.
No.
But they are that measurement. The lines on our party cup were designated for functional performance and are not measurement lines. If the lines do coincide with certain measurements, it's purely coincidental. I think it's more for the stacking, because they stack perfectly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I like the square ones.
The square ones are good too.
Yep.
All right, this made me laugh. It's a wonderful Wisconsin story.
Great.
Yes. And then termites, we will move on to other things. Milwaukee dog disappears, located at a bar a mile away from home having fun. Jenny Hazard's dog Bear has always loved an adventure. When he was younger, he was a runner, Hazard said. Hazard thought that was a thing of the past until Wednesday night, January 24th. It was getting kind of dark. I was outside with all 3 dogs. 1 minute Bear, and the next was there, and the next he wasn't. I'm looking for and going, where's Bear? The gate was cracked, but Bear was nowhere to open, but no, Bear was nowhere to be found. After about 20 minutes, I was just in tears because he's old and he's got a heart condition. But being the social butterfly that Bear is, we get a text saying, your dog is down at Fink's. I'm like, what? Bear was just out for a cold one. Great, I'm relieved he's okay, but what is he doing at a bar? She laughed and said. A friend sent a picture of him having fun at the bar. They took good care of him. I guess he was pretty popular. Well, it remains a mystery how he got there. Old man breaks free, goes to bar. Ha, 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 ha. The good news, he made it home safe. In the end, Hazard learned that Bear was inside Fink's with a group of girls going bar hopping. The owner of the bar says the ladies must have picked him up out in front of the bar, their first stop being Fink's. It's a little white, like, I don't know what kind of dog, a little tiny white guy.
That's great.
Yeah, he's funny. Cute. There's a picture of him at the bar, too. We'll put it in the show notes. Cool. Just because it's a little thing to turn your day around and go, look, this little dog just said, fuck it, I'm going to the bar.
Nice.
All right, Terms. Well, I'm going to tell you where I'm going, and then we're going to do a quote, and then we're out.
Okay.
This weekend,
So fun.
Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, February 17th, Scottsdale, Chattanooga, the 23rd, Wait, 17th is Arizona.
Yes.
23rd is Chattanooga, choo-choo.
Nice.
24th, Huntsville, Alabama.
Cool.
March 1st and 2nd, Detroit, a.k.a. Royal Oak, Michigan. Then Dayton, Indy, San Antonio, Austin, Marietta, Ohio, Cincinnati, Tarrytown, Wilmington, and we added Anaheim. So you people out there in California, you don't have to drive all the way to Thousand Oaks. You can just stay in your hood and come see me there.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. And then Thousand Oaks, which is a little closer to LA proper. Okay.
So great.
Dolly Parton. No, we'll do Tay-Tay first. Tay-Tay's going to the Super Bowl. She's going to go from Japan. She has time to make it. It's amazing.
The Swifties are so thrilled.
The Swifties are very excited. This is in the Daily Beast 2017. I've had a guy say as we were breaking up, you better not write a song about this, at which point I proceeded to write an entire album about it. Way to go. I read that like Dolly. That was Taylor's quote. Good job, youngster.
I'm sure that Dolly's done it too.
On why she didn't take her husband's name. Her husband is Carl Dean. This is Dolly. If I'd have chosen the name Dolly Dean, I'd have been the double D again.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her. I don't know what time in the morning she came up with that one. 3:45 when she's awake and the world is not. All right, termites. I will see you kids down the road.
You gotta bring out your blinking Chiefs hat now.
I do have to get out the Chiefs hat. I'll have to part ways with some of my California friends and root for my Missouri Chiefs. Yeah, and I think they can do it. I don't know what the line is yet.
They get 3.5.
They get 3.5.
Yep.
They're gonna win.
Okay.
They're gonna win, and I think San Francisco's good. I mean, I picked them on my bracket, but it's when you get hot.
Yeah.
And when I did my bracket, the Chiefs looked a little discombobulated. And now, Brock Purdy's great. Debo Samuel's great. A lot of great people on San Francisco.
Kelsey's down.
But I also trust Andy Reid more than the child Shanahan.
It's child's Janet.
He's not his father.
No.
No, he's got things to learn still.
What's that guy's name?
His name is Child Shanahan. You're one of the children. He's not even that young. I don't know. He's probably 50 or some shit. But
What are you gonna do in Birmingham?
what am I going to do in Birmingham? Well, go get barbecue.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be my main agenda.
I think there's a Buc-ee's down there.
I'm sure there's a Buc-ee's on the way. I'll drive.
Nice.
Yeah. And I have Andrew Stanley with me. Michael Palasek was the opener last weekend, if anybody was wondering. He's very funny. I like to keep it, switch it up just so there's differences and, more fun. Oh! All right, termites. Ready?